This makes me so happy seeing so many of you. Okay, we will get started in just a second. Tori, look at you, you cute girl. Are you out walking and exercising? Way to go.
I didn't do it this morning, so I feel totally unmotivated in the evening.
You and Carrie could be BFFs. I'm sure you have just as beautiful biceps as she has.
Oh, I don't know about that, but my butt is getting fit. I do know that. I can feel it. I'm like, when I'm walking, girl, I can feel it. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna keep doing this.
Okay, where are my girls? Joanna's here. Jordan, where is she? Okay, we'll wait for just a second, and then Jordan will start us off.
Sorry, it took me like an hour with that password.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. It's 7:01.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, some of you don't know me. My name is Jordan Roddenberry, and Emily is my power partner, and Joanna is my power partner. And one of my favorite things about Plexus in general is that whatever successful looks like in your eyes, successful ambassadors do not have a mold. We are all different. We're all different ages from different places. Our journeys look different. And that's why I love our power partnership. We are all different Enneagram numbers with different color personalities, with different spiritual gifts. We are just all so different, but because we just have the same drive, and there are a few things that we do the same, our marriage between me and Emily and Joanna has just been beautiful. And so I just want to share a little bit, one, how we got connected. And then each of us are just going to share really briefly a quick tip or two. And then we really want tonight to be a lot of Q&A, because we don't always know what you guys need to know unless you tell us. There is no dumb question. And so if you want to take some notes as we go, ask some questions based on what we talk about, that would be great. Or if you just have something you want to know how we did something, please tell us. Okay, so how long ago was it? 3 years ago? We were all brand new gold ambassadors, and Emily, I got this message from this girl named Emily, and she was like, hey, listen, you and I have kind of been like competing on this leaderboard that our upline does, Tamra, and I've seen your name, and I'm over here, I'm an Enneagram 3. I'm literally silently competing. Like every week I see this girl's name and I'm like, girl, I'm going to beat you, even though I didn't even know her. And then this sweet woman messages me, and she was like, well, hey, I just have seen we kind of been going back and forth. You're rocking it. Like I'm putting in the work. Like I would love to just kind of talk a little bit. Maybe we can put our brains together. And then she tells me that she has this friend named Joanna, and that she's been working with, who's great at posting. She has these beautiful posts. And she was like, well, I think maybe all three of us should talk. And I found out later, Joanna, who was her first power partner, did not want me in on the group. She was trying to X me out. But because she's the sweet Enneagram 2 that she is, she agreed. And so y'all, I want to tell y'all a little bit about our very first conversation and what that looked like. So we were on a call for I think it was like 2 hours. It was insane. And we were just going back and forth on, well, what are you doing? How many times are you posting a day? Well, what kind of events are you doing? Okay, well, what are you putting in these events? How often you're coaching your team? You're doing one-on-ones? Tell me what those look like. Okay, well, this is what's working for me. This is what's working for me. And we just went back and forth and filled in gaps where we were missing. And then the other part of what I think is so beautiful about what has happened with me and Joanna and Emily is that, y'all, you're never going to be on all the time. You're never always going to be having a wonderful, sparkly, bubbly day. You are, no matter what stage you're in. I'm an Emerald ambassador, and y'all, I still catch myself having little bouts of imposter syndrome. Am I really good at this? Am I really a good leader? Do I really deserve XYZ, right? Or, you know, am I really even that good for my team? You know, and we all have those moments. And so you have to have people in your corner telling you all the time, Jordan, you are an idiot. Like, you are really good at this. You know, you are exactly where God wants you. And you have to have people giving you a little slap in the face or a hug or whatever that is, that encouraging word. And so that is what they have been for me. And so I'm going to share really quick a couple of things just from my perspective, and then Emily's going to share, Joanna's going to share, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. And I'm really excited for y'all to hear, especially my team. I'm really excited for y'all to hear different perspectives. So something, a hurdle that we overcame, something that I learned very early on was that I'm a very red personality. I'm an Enneagram 3. Goal setting is something that comes very natural to me. And when I was a very young ambassador, I thought everybody thought like I did. I thought everybody had these big, massive dreams and goals, and it just, y'all, people are not like you. 75% of people are not the same color as you. Even a higher percentage of the people are not the same Enneagram number as you. And so I learned very early on that I had to meet people where they were and stop putting my thoughts and what motivates me on other people. And I had to make it about them and learn what fueled them and what motivated them and their why, and let them set their own goals. And so that was something that was really a big self-awareness moment for me. So yeah, that's kind of my tip and my hurdle all in one. And so diving into the Enneagram and the color personalities is kind of how I overcame that. So Emily, you want to go?
Sure. Okay, so my name is Emily, and I think my biggest hurdle, gosh, I mean, I feel like we all have hurdles all of the time. But I think one of the biggest ones has been what people think of me, because I was so against it for so long, and I had thoughts towards people doing network marketing. I still have thoughts towards certain people, the way that they do network marketing. And so I think I have struggled from the beginning of like, I want to make sure people know my heart, and I want to make sure that people know I'm not just another one of them, you know, because there's some bad apples in every profession. And so I think that was the biggest hurdle. And then having to overcome some really hurtful things that happened within my first 6 months of doing Plexus. A lot of like public character trashing on social media about me and my team and about Plexus. And so I think that was a huge hurdle I had to get over. And I really had to build my belief because my doubt was really high and my belief was pretty low a few months into the business. I am an Enneagram 1, so I am a perfectionist, and I don't want to micromanage, but I really want people to like do well and succeed here, and I know the way. Like, I know the right way to do it. So just be coachable and let me help you so you can succeed. And so that's another issue is I don't mean to, but I think I sometimes am controlling, and I hate that. So that's another hurdle. But that's my Enneagram, and I am a reddish, yellowish, orangish color personality. Some of the tips that I would have is something that I've learned. People are not thinking about you near as much as you think they're thinking about you. I would get really nervous posting and seeing that no one liked my post, or it was just my mom that liked my post. And what is everybody thinking? My gosh, everybody's probably sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner table talking about, can you believe that Emily Burgess is doing Plexus? That's not the case. If that is the case, they need a life, you know, like we need to get over that ourselves. So I think that's a tip, like, don't be worried about what other people are thinking. If you are sharing from your heart, If you are a man or a woman of prayer and you are praying over your business and the work of your hands, and that your heart is being exposed as you are sharing these gifts, that it can be an inspiration to people, then you have nothing to worry about. So I think that's a huge tip for all of us, just to remember. People who know you and know your heart know that you are not a slimy, salesy, pyramid scheme type of person. So don't let that fear of what people might be thinking of you hold you back from doing something that could be really big and really beautiful for your family. And then the last thing, I mean, I have so many tips, but the last just general one is just do the things. There have been many people that I have seen, whether they're on my team or other teams, who have such potential, but they don't do the things. They do the fluff. They do the busyness, but they do not do the things. And the things are simple. They're not easy, but they're simple. It's messaging people, following up with people from your heart, it's sharing on social media, and it's training yourself. But when you start to let busyness come in, then you stop doing the action and you stop seeing growth, and then you start to feel sorry for yourself that it's just not cut out for you, but you're not doing anything. You're not getting into action. And so that's another huge tip. Listen to your leaders, and remember, it's simple. And so make that your priority every morning before you do anything else. Do your IPAs. And then if you've done your IPAs every day for 90 days and you are still not seeing growth, then we need to tweak. We need to make some adjustments, because it should be working. Those are my tips. Joanna?
Hey, really fast, I was just going to interject, because y'all, we see Jules all the time, people in the top of the company that are like, guys, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all's team so successful? How are y'all still working? I'm like, when's the last time you did an event for your level 1? When's the last time you sent a message? And they're like, it's just doing things.
Just getting caught up in like looking side to side, like, oh, Jordan's really good at doing social media, and she's really good at doing stories, and I haven't done a story in a week. Okay, I've really got to do that. You know, like looking side to side, I think it's important to see and to grow, but when we let that comparison bog us down, that takes away from that activity and that action, and you're not going to move forward with that attitude or action, you know.
Yes, love all of that. And it's true, I did not want Jordan as a power partner. I'm so sorry, Jordan. But I'm pretty introverted. I've come a lot out of my shell since starting Plexus, but I didn't want a power partner because I was scared to death that, like, what if I didn't like the power partner? And then what if I was stuck with someone that, like, didn't really like, and then we didn't like go well together with our personality. So it was super scary for me to even like get a power partner. So then Emily was my power partner. And then when she was like, oh, there's this Jordan, I was like thinking, oh my word, I do not want to add another power partner. But I didn't want to say that because I don't like to tell people, no, I'm a yes person. And so I was like, oh yeah, sure, let's ask her. And then inside I was like, oh no. And she's just amazing. So I have since been very sorry for thinking those thoughts. So I've been with Plexus for 5.5 years. It took me 6 months to go silver, and my team and I just ranked Sapphire last month. And it's just been a crazy, exciting journey. I am a yellow/red personality, and I'm Enneagram 2 with a strong 3-wing. And so a few tips for, a hurdle that I had to get past. There's lots of hurdles, you all, but one of them was that my husband was not very supportive in the beginning. I mean, he's always supportive, but he didn't believe in this. He said it was a pyramid scheme, and he did not believe in multi-level marketing, and he did not think the products would work. He said I could try it. So I tried it and loved the products. He said I was like a new person month 2 with my mood swings. So then he was a believer in the products, but then he still didn't believe in the business model. Even though he believed in me, but anyway, it was really hard. He told me at one point that I would never be successful at this. And so I have proved him wrong, which has been a really great feeling, but he has been so happy about it too, because he told me the other day, I'm so glad you didn't listen to me, because he knows and has seen how this has changed so much for our families. And he loves that I earn more than him, because we are probably next month going to be out of debt, you all. And it's been a long journey, and that is just insane. And we could never have done that without Plexus. So that has been my biggest hurdle, but it's been so worth it just to work through it with each other. And yeah, so if you have an unbelieving spouse, you can get through it. So 3 tips for you all. My first one would be watch a Diamond doc every day. If you haven't done this yet, or if you haven't gotten through all the Diamond documentaries yet, and there's new ones popping up too. Watch a Diamond doc. I did this early on, and it built my belief like crazy, because I saw so many different people and walks of life and personalities, yet they were all at the top of the company. And so it made me believe more and more in myself that maybe I could do this too. So watch Diamond docs. That's number 1. And then my second one would be personal growth. That has been a huge thing for me, especially being more introverted, in my, my core personality being introverted. That has been huge, because just one of my favorite, and the way I love to do the personal growth is through books. One of my favorite books that I read earlier on was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it really has taught me so much about how to serve others and love people better, making it about them and not about yourself. Because we are human, and so it's so easy to just always be thinking about like what we can say when we're talking with someone. And when we're in a conversation, especially, this is something huge I learned, but when you're talking with someone, a lot of times, what are we doing? Like, we're thinking about, like what we can say next and like what we can talk about. But like stopping and thinking and really listening to what they're saying, making it about them, asking them questions, caring about their life. But I could go on and on. That's just an amazing book. And it just really helps you to love people better and learn more about how to just serve people. And then pep talk, because it's all about affirmations and your mindset. And I used to think that was hogwash when I got started. And I'm so glad. One thing, I was very, very coachable. And so when my uplines told me to do, I did it because I wanted to be successful, and they were successful. It's pep talk, and then How to Win Friends and Influence People. But I can type that in a sec. But I was very coachable. So I just did what they told me to do, even if I didn't want to. And even if I didn't like really think it was legit, that I would try it at least. And so I read the books talking about mindset, and I learned that it really is a thing. And it's all backed up by scripture, you all, that it is so powerful what you're saying to yourself and how we talk to ourselves. And so personal growth is my number 2. And then number 3 is to write your goals out and your vision, or do like a vision board. I know some people might think vision boards are funny or say not to do them, but I did those early on. And they were powerful to me because I could see like my goals, and I have been able to cross so many of those off, which is really exciting. But I basically just took my main things that I was working this business for, and I got pictures to visualize what that goal is, or that I wanted to hit. And then I did it on my phone. You can do it like, a physical one if you want, but I did it on my phone, and I made a collage for it. And at one point I even printed it off. But that is huge too, because when you're visualizing it, when you're writing things down, like that trains your mind. Like, it's just, you can look at all the research on how it backs that up, but it just really helps so much in hitting your goals. And so, yeah, that is a little bit from me. So we're going to open up for Q&A. So who has some questions for us? Anything? Ask away, unmute yourself. I know we have to have some questions on here. I think.
This is awkward.
I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
How do you go about finding business builders, and how do you motivate them? Or if you have people on your team and you think that they're a dream teamer, how do you go about motivating them into working the business and being as fired up as you are?
Is that a question? Are you asking me, like, specifically, or just?
Yes, she's asking you.
Okay. Okay, so how
I'm asking anyone, any of the 3.
Okay.
Give me your best advice.
I have learned a lot from Jordan in Business Builders, because she's incredible at that. For me, it all starts a lot of my business builders were happy product takers who needed to get their products paid for. And that's how I was. And so I kind of did, like, I do a lot of the feel, felt, found with people. And so often we can like Emily's saying, like we prejudge people and we think, oh, they wouldn't want to do this, or they're going to say no or something. And so I ask a lot of people if they, if I can help them get free products, or that's kind of how a lot of my business builders have started. Like Katie Ciccarelli, she was just for products, like not the business, no, but she needed to get her products paid for. And she just went Emerald. And so that's how a lot of mine have started. I have since become more bold and just like reaching out specifically about the business. But that's kind of my experience, and encouraging them to grow their business. I would say just like a lot of just encouragement, like letting them know like they can do this, just pouring belief into them that I believe in them, helping them map out like their goals so that they know what to do. Because for me, when I started, like I just needed someone to tell me what to do. Like I didn't know what to do, and if you told me what to do, I would do it, but I just didn't know what to do. And so just helping them know what to do, and not assuming they know what to do, and thinking like, because I think we can think, oh, I don't want to be bossy and like do this, but that's what most people want. They just want to be told what to do, because they don't know what to do. But Jordan might have a better answer for how she gets business builders.
I don't have a better answer, but I mean, and y'all probably heard me say this, but I feel like our social media, our Facebook platform, our Instagram platform is where it starts. Because I remember even when I had just started, I was talking about being Emerald. I was talking about getting my Lexus. And I'd be like, 2 more, and we're getting option that we could never afford. So I feel like even from like way early on, I was painting this picture of what this is and that it was possible. And so I think that's really important to be sharing about the business in this picture. And even in messages, I was like, hey girl, like I am going to Hawaii. My sponsor did it. I'm doing it. And I know you can do it. Like, I know we'd have a heck of a time. And so I know that I was just talking about that business all the time. And then the other thing, and like Tori, even when I was talking to you, I remember I was like, hey, listen, what kind of earrings do you like? If you go gold in 3 months, I'll get you a pair of XYZ. So it's like, sometimes we got to meet them where they are and motivate them like they need. So instead of how we need. And so that's another thing that I think has helped. And I'll ditto what Joanna said, keeping it simple. Hey, here's the step, go do it. Here's the step, go do it. Here's the step, go do it. And it's kind of hand holding at first until it becomes like fun, and then they kind of get in the groove.
I was just going to say, similar to Jordan, I think it starts with you. I think you sharing the opportunity and people seeing, okay, this girl is not just making $50. That was when my very first business builder came to me. She came to me. It was Cara Carrington, and I made a post on social media that said, if any of you have made $500 or more in a month with Plexus, comment below. And within a day, she messaged me. She's had a 2-week-old baby, and she said, I want to stay home with my baby. I need to get out of our debt. I want to do the business. She didn't even care about the products. She wanted to do the business. And so I think your consistency and posting about the opportunity and posting about it helped you pay for all of these groceries in the back of your car. It helped your friend pay for her mortgage. It helped your friend pay off their medical debt. Like, constantly talking about it, because I think so often we defer to the products because they're safer and they're not as scary. And maybe we've had an experience with the products, but we haven't yet had like what we would consider a huge successful paycheck. But if no one does when they start, right? Like, everyone starts at the same place. And so I just think it's really important for us to be consistent in sharing what this opportunity could be and explaining, again, you're not just making chump change. Like, there are people here in this thread that are making $17,000 a month, so you have connections with people that you can share their story. And then looking at different script ideas too, that a lot of our jewels have put out there. And you'll see that almost all of them default to the business. They don't start with the products for the most part. They default with the business. And so I think, again, putting on that boldness, the beautiful, brave boldness of, this could be a blessing to you, because how many people, I don't know about you, but like, being tight financially affects everything. It affects your health, it affects your marriage, it affects everything. And so I don't think we can go and assume no one wants to do this. Well, there are a lot of people that need it. And if you hold back, then you are blocking a potential blessing. And just being bold in that and sharing your story.
Okay, who else has a question for us?
I have a question. Hey, I have a question. So, how much time do you girls actually spend a day, do you think, doing your IPAs? Do you do IPAs every day? And what exactly does your IPA consist of as far as like reaching out, like asks or follow-ups?
Emily, you put this on a thread earlier today, and so go ahead and share.
What did I put on the thread?
Should you want me to read it to you?
No, because I don't even know what I said. I'm scared. So, Miss Wendy, I think it's different in different phases, in different seasons. When we were starting out, everything I was doing was IPAs. And it wasn't like, okay, I'm working from, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. because we have young kids. Like, it's hard to, you truly are just fitting it in where you can. And so whenever we were just starting out, that was all I was doing was IPAs. Well, now as a Sapphire ambassador with a massive team and people really in action, my day looks different. So yes, I am still doing IPAs, and I'm sure Jordan and Joanna are as well, but it looks quite a bit different than it did a few months or a few years ago, So I would say, I don't know, somebody on my thread or my team call last night asked that same question. And it's hard to answer because every day is different.
Sometimes what I like to do is I like to lump IPA into, so I might do like on Monday and Wednesday or whatever my schedule is looking like. I will lump my IPA. So if I have like, okay, I want to be doing like 30 reach outs this week and 50 follow-ups or whatever my goal is, because whatever your goal is to add ambassadors in the week or the month, you need to kind of divide it by your number of reach outs. So usually it's a good rule is like 10%. So if you want to sign up 5 people, well, following up with 50 people is a good number, and reaching out to, however many people. So knowing your number, then you can do it every single day, or you can just block off and just do all of it on like Monday or like maybe all your reach outs on Monday and all your follow-ups on Tuesday, or just kind of what works best for you. You don't have to do it every single day as long as you're doing the same like the numbers, the numbers game. I probably would say I work an average of now. I would probably maybe an hour to 2 hours of IPA a day earlier on, but now I say I probably do an average of maybe like an hour a day, 5 days a week of IPA, and that's counting like customer care, all of that.
There is a book, this may have been what you were talking about, Jordan, but Rock Your Network Marketing book is really good. And she actually talks about how you need to establish hours of operation. And she said with network marketing, if you want to be successful, time-wise, she said you need to block 10 to 15 hours a week to do your IPAs, to do your business. So that's a little bit more of a concise number right there, Miss Wendy. But I think it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have 2 hours or 3 hours a day or 15 hours a week. That's a lot. But when you can cut out 2 30-minute Netflix shows at night that you're just watching while you're vegging or when your kids are doing nap time, it's a whole lot more fulfilling to be able to do that. And then at the end of the day, I don't feel like you think, oh my gosh, like I spent so much time working today. I think you feel fulfilled because it's so relationship driven.
We have a question in the comments.
Well, somebody had asked, what is IPA? Because there's some new people in here. Income producing activities. And so those look different for everybody. My IPA used to look like me sending 50 to 100 messages and starting those conversations. But thankfully, I've been so consistent for 4 years. I have more people coming to me now than I did 4 years ago, and without me going to them first. And so I think like Emily said, it just happens in seasons. Right now, my season is get your crap done when you can get it done because it is craziness, but it works. And I'm really thankful for that flexibility.
Okay, Michaela asks, she says, how do you balance wanting to grow your business faster and building relationships, which takes time, especially for introverts or those starting with small networks?
I have an answer for that one because I actually somebody asked me this yesterday. I saw this, maybe it was in a book. I think it might be John Maxwell. He described network marketing as casting out a net, and you have to cast out a net, not to catch one or two fishes, but to cast out your net so wide. And I think, personally, Taylor Yetzi, she might be on here. I didn't know Taylor. I didn't know her from Adam. And I was not about to like butter her up and create this relationship that we didn't have. And then bam, network marketing. The first thing I said to her was, hey, listen, I have no idea if this is something you need, but I saw that you wanted to stay at home and I just want to be a resource if I can help you. I know we don't know each other well. I look forward to getting to know you more. I am not a salesperson, but man, this has been a gift for my family. And she said, no, thank you. And then we kept building a friendship. And then she ended up signing up like 6 months later. And so I am not the type of person who's just going to like create relationships, and then bam, Plexus. That's how I like to do it. If I have the luxury of building friendships first and then they come to me, great. But I don't think that you have to wait until you are besties to share the gift that is Plexus.
And if they're a dream teamer and you're sitting there cultivating a relationship with them, so eventually you can bring it up, I guarantee you that other people have them on their dream team list and they're going to beat you to it. So that Abby Kappa talks about that too. When you have a dream teamer, you tell them, just like Jordan said, immediately, like when they come to your mind, when you talk to them, you tell them why they would be amazing at the business, why you want to run with them. And then if they say no, continue that relationship. So you're continuing building that relationship, but you've at least laid your cards out on the table.
And something that I did, so because I didn't have Facebook when I got started, and so I had to build up my network. And so for people that I was just meeting in groups, because I am in like a police wives group and another group, so people I'm just meeting, I'm not, even though I'm like, oh my goodness, they'd be amazing at this, I'm not going to message them about Plexus right away because we just became friends on Facebook. So for people like that, I grew a lot of my business or my network through groups. And when I connected with someone and we became friends on Facebook, I messaged them about like what our interests. So we're in the police wives group. So I would message them and say, hey, thanks so much for accepting my ad. I'm so excited to get to connect with a fellow Leo wife or something like that. And so that's how I would connect with people. And then eventually either they would ask me about it because they would see my posts, or I would invite them to an event or something, and I would make that reach out, and I would just come out and be bold about it, like Jordan was saying. But if you do have, like, I just wanted to kind of to add that in, because if you just become friends with someone, you're not necessarily going to be like, hey, and reach out right away about Plexus. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, somebody has a question in the chat, and she said, how many times do you follow up with your ambassadors without annoying them, and how do you explain how the business works without scaring them? One of y'all can take
it. So like for customer care, maybe like following up with them over that, or like people who are doing the business, I'm wondering. So for customer, like if you sign up in
customer, I think.
Okay, so when I sign up an ambassador, I do like my goal is like the 4 connects in their first month. So they sign up, and then when they get their welcome pack, that's like your first one. You're giving them their schedule for starting, and then you're going to follow up with them typically like every week in their first month. And I don't see it like as annoying at all, because most people, they want that, because they want that accountability and that help, like that encouragement, even if they're not responding to you, because people don't respond all the time. And does it mean they don't care, or they just get busy and they forget to respond or whatever. So 4 times their first month. And then after that, usually like once, twice a month, explain the business without scaring them. I usually now I like to just talk about referral bonuses. So if it's someone who joined, they're not like, I'm going to do the business right away. It's just maybe they just started for the products mostly. Then I am going to ask them if I can do a fun party for them on Facebook. And because when they grab a few of their friends and family to get healthier with them, they're going to get some fun referral bonuses. They can get free product. That's kind of how I phrase it for people like that, and go from there.
I actually had a girl just today. She messaged me for the product. She was like, hey, I think I need these products. And we talked about her and her husband. And then I had just posted that Haven had earned like $100 bonus or something. And she was like, hey, what is that thing I saw on your Instagram? Like, how do I make that? And so I think that by us sharing those things, by helping our teammates go silver, by sharing when we make a paycheck, by sharing when our teammates make a paycheck, it just creates FOMO. And that is why I'm so passionate about talking about the business, because we are creating a culture that is like, you come in, you get your products paid for, you do a fun party, done. Like, and that's how they stay for a long time. And so that's kind of how I do it. Very similar, Joanna. Let's get your referral bonuses, 3 people, $300. I've got a system. It works. Do you trust me? Done.
Hey girls, I have a question.
Yeah, go
And
for
this
it.
is for Joanna and Emily, because I've talked to Jordan about this before. What is the biggest mindset shift that you guys experienced when going from like Ruby, Senior Ruby up to Emerald and then Sapphire? Like, what's the biggest mindset change that you had to implement to get there?
Do you want to go first, Emily? I would say one of them was probably that, like, you can do it. Like, just knowing that whatever's in your way, if, like, maybe you're stuck, or if something is keeping you from hitting the goals you have, knowing that, like, or for me, like, knowing, like, okay, I can get around this somehow. Like, I can figure it out. Like, just keep doing the things, like, knowing that, like, I'll get through it. I don't know how, maybe all the time, or like when, but knowing that I can be successful. Just a lot of it. Oh, both of her. Sorry, hang on. Go ahead, Emily. Someone just got hurt.
So I think reminding myself that I don't need to be in management mode, and that I need to be showing duplication by my personal action. And I think reminding myself that I need to continue to grow my level 1 base, that I need to continue to lead with the business. I need to, like, that needs to be my focus. Is, yes, I want to have happy wholesale ambassadors, but my focus and my goal is to get more business building level 1s onto my team, to grow more business building level 1s. So if I have happy customers, like Carrie Compton, she was on here a minute ago, she's doing an event right now, but she was a customer of mine for a year, and I would sprinkle in the belief of, like, why she would be amazing at the business. I knew that she liked the products. I knew that financially it was a stretch to get them every month. And so I was continually trying to build into her of why she would be amazing at this, her character. And so I think shifting from, I just want to get lots of people onto my team, to, I really want to be mindful of who I'm adding to my team, and how I'm adding, and how I am raising them up.
How much time do we have left, Em? Can you see?
Oh, 1 minute. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. All right, y'all. So thank y'all for being on here tonight. Was there anything that we wanted to leave them with, Emily?
I want people to know anybody can do this. You have to have the mindset, no backdoor, connect with like-minded men and women like Jordan and Joanna and I have. You can do this, and it is worth it, and it is so fun and so fulfilling. So I'm excited for you guys. I'm proud of every single one of you on here. If you need any help, if you have any questions, we love this entire huge team, and we all want to help. Thank you guys so much for being on. Jordan, Joanna, do you have anything?
No. If you don't have a power partner, find one. And it doesn't have to be on your team. It doesn't have to be, if you're on my team, you don't have to be on somebody on our team. You know, I would not be here today if I did not have my people. And we were all running at different paces until we connected. And then we've almost ranked up within the same like 3-month span ever since then. Yeah. And that is not by chance. That is purely because we are aligned in everything we do. So find your person, run hard, and then just go, because this is fun.
We love y'all. Thanks for being on. Have a good